Bungo Stray Dogs is back. My gosh, massive hype for 5th season. I think I overhyped myself a little bit too much, so I was a little bit disappointed with this first episode. Honestly, I felt like this first episode should have been the finale of season 4. I just feel like everything sort of wrapped up nicely at the end of this one, whereas with season 4's end, it was like, okay, this dude's falling, this person's dead, everybody's gonna get executed and everything, and it's like, okay, well, this one kind of just put it into a nice wrap-up. Really, kind of the whole ending with Rampo felt like a nice wrap-up of a season, so I'll be really curious to see where things go from here, because honestly, it feels like, okay, next arc. Obviously still going after the page, but still feels like, okay, let's try this again. Reset point, pretty much. But really good episode besides that. I had a couple of points in here that I really do want to theorize, which I'm pretty excited to talk about. One mainly being the opening scene, because we obviously see that the coins are distributed, they are now going off. This poor guy's buying a wrap, and he ends up getting blown up. Guy just wants his wrap. But the interesting thing is Kunikita and Sagiku. Now, granted, yes, it's interesting the idea that this guy is literally offering to have him join, pointing out the fact that his hands are gone. How are you going to be able to write in your book, join us? That's the only way you're going to get freedom. There's the thing. Why is he offering him freedom? Again, what does the page say? The page says they don't question the idea the agency is guilty. No matter what, the agency is guilty. We have this whole segment at the end of the 4th season where Michizo literally questions the whole thing. And it's mainly because it's replacing it with something else. That's what the end of this episode really is entailing. Because of what we kind of seen with this character and how they sort of replaced their duty as their job with something else, they were able to question what the page told them to question. Because the page, this is sort of the fault of how it's written, which yes, could be completely according to Keikaku. We know that's going to probably come up here eventually. But the flaw in how the page was wrote specifies that people of this agency will not question this. Well, what if they're not thinking from a perspective of somebody from this agency? Then suddenly they can question what the page is saying. They can question if the detective agency is actually guilty. So taking a step back here, why is he offering to let him join the hunting dogs? That would be him allowing a criminal to join the hunting dogs, even though he specifically should think that they are guilty. Why would I bring somebody in who's killed a bunch of people in a terrorist attack? Either it's because he's willing to bring in criminals into the hunting dogs, he's a double agent somehow, or like everybody else that's trying to pull out of the mindset of the page, he thinks differently. He doesn't think from a perspective of somebody who is in law enforcement of some sort. So I'm very curious to what will end up coming from that. Sadly, it doesn't seem like we're going to get an answer right yet because technically they're all freed at this point, but it was still a very interesting kind of twist in there that I didn't think about when the moment of the scene was happening. I'm like, oh, wait, he's offering him to join. I don't know why. He thinks he's really extremely skilled and whatnot. He's pretty much hanging over his head the fact that he has to take all these surgeries and he's not going to survive unless he has all these surgeries, which, yes, technically does flag Kunikita. But again, we know how, we know what's going to happen to Kunikita going forward. He's just going to get healed. But super interesting, and it, yes, technically in that scene does hit on the aspect of what Kunikita's aspirations are, his desires for justice, his own sense of justice, basically. That no matter what you just did, no matter how much you tried, we're going to kill her. We're going to go execute her. Just kind of rubbing it in his face like, haha, you're not going to get what you wanted. Yes, we finally found out that Nikolai is not dead. So we knew that based on the final scene of the 4th season. I'm sorry. Why he's not dead, which kind of played into what my theory was. If this guy can literally essentially move from one point to point B, why can't he do that to the space in his waist? Now, it doesn't really explain too much of the graphical detail of what we've seen of him literally being chopped in half and blood gushing out, but I guess he just kind of finagled it a little bit. Yet technically, he did kind of point out to Sigma that I was able to transport your blood back into your body, so him transporting his blood out one of the ends of the teleport, I guess technically makes sense. Quite a feat. Let's just say that. Quite a feat. I'm not really getting him too much, Nikolai. Honestly, it's turning into this whole thing where he wants to kill Fyodor because he wants to be disconnected from these emotions, wants to prove that he has pure free will. And that was sort of indicated by the fact that it seems like he was able to pull from what the page wanted. He was able to defeat what God sort of wanted for him, that he was going to die because of what this page said. He defied the God that is this page. Now, the question mark that I really have is why does he need Sigma to do it? He said that I saved you because I want you to help me kill him. I need to find out what his power is, and you're going to tell me. Now, here's this big question mark that I have. Maybe I missed something, or maybe I'm forgetting something because it's been a while since the fourth season. It implied that Sigma didn't have an ability. Sigma was literally wrote into existence by the page, and thus he has no existence. But it seems to imply that he has the ability to give memories to people, knowledge. He did that to Atsushi. He gave him all this information that he's trying to figure out right now. So it seems to imply that he can at least give knowledge. And so he does have an ability. But again, makes you wonder, why was he created that way? Again, it's just how this is kind of set up right now. The whole fight between Dazai and Fyodor is turning into a Kikaku thing. And so everything has to be according to that. Was there... seemingly regularly pointing that out. Well, he's got to be figuring that. Bungo is even saying that. This has got to be a part of his plan. This has got to be the next step in it. So it's this kind of idea of assuming that this is according to their plan so that you can schedule for how to kind of react to that. Even though they're probably going to react to you reacting to the reacting. So yeah, with all that said, I'll be interested to see what Nikolai's whole thing in here. It's sort of creating another faction that wants to take down Fyodor. Is Nikolai going to end up joining up with Atsushi and all them to take down Fyodor? I don't know. To be fair, I'm not too shocked by Nikolai and how kind of warped and messed up he is. It seems to kind of imply that early on, that he's just this type that wants to test the boundaries of logic and emotion. But it'll be interesting to see if Sigma does know what Fyodor's real ability is. But yes, this shifts into Kamui's, no, not really, Rampo's big plan. I have to admit, despite the fact that in the beginning segments of Season 4, I loved Rampo's story. I loved getting perspective into him and finally understanding him as a character. But I completely forgot about him. I sort of forgot what happened to him because it's been so long since he's been on the screen. But yeah, apparently he dipped out and then he started to kind of put into plan to try to foil Kamui's plan, which was to assassinate everybody and basically get the band back together. But yes, additionally looking into how to essentially prove that they're innocent and be able to break past what the page is telling everybody. But he freed everybody and Fukuzawa tells him, all right, let's mess up the story. Let's break their plans. Which this is, like I was mentioning earlier, is pretty much what Rampo is putting into effect is what Michiso experienced, and my assumption is what's going on with Saigiku. This idea of trying to push people to think. Look with your own eyes, think with your soul rather than your duties for your agency. Like that guy's like, wait, we have one of those envelopes? Where is it at? Oh, it's in the trash can over there. Why the hell is it in the trash can? It hasn't even been opened. Because that's what it was telling them to do. It's telling them to go, well, this is evidence against them. It's got to be fake. Throw it away. But I really like the scene, though, because it's Rampo basically telling all these people, look, I saved so many lives in my 12 years. Does this make any sense that the great detective Rampo would do something stupid like getting himself on a wanted list? But additionally, some of the people in this room, I've saved their lives. Think for yourself rather than your agency. Which I said is like this kind of mixture of this cool little twist to the whole aspect of the page itself, finding a flaw in it and the idea that it's just referencing the agency rather than the people themselves. But it also does seem a little bit too easy, so it makes me question, again, if this is according to what Fyodor wants. But we'll have to wait and see. I also got to kick out the how to get Atsushi to be able to sort of formulate the information in his mind. Give him some sort of pain. So the girls are like, I could get on to pinch him because like I can blow on the back of his neck. And Ongo's like, yeah, these girls are a little bit too protective of him. And he's like, well, I'll take his memories from him and then I'll figure it out. And they're like, okay, then we can stab you and stuff. That reminds me that the thing with Ongo though, I understand Ongo. He is the type to put others before anything else. The lives of many is more than the one. That's his mindset. He's never really deviated from that. It makes perfect sense. But still, like, jumping to the conclusion that he's going to be caught in one of those virus things and he's going to go kill Atsushi because these two girls won't help him. And it's like, wait, what? So are we just going to kill him? Like, whoa, chill, dude. Chill out. It just felt a little bit forced in that scene. It's kind of one of those ones where I wonder if there was a lot more thought process put into that was in the manga that was just completely cut with the anime. But anyways, that's my thoughts on the first episode of the 5th season of Bungo Stray Dogs. I will probably be covering this on a weekly basis. It didn't do very well, my videos for this series during 4th season, but I still really enjoyed it, so I enjoyed talking about it. So it's kind of one of those shows where I don't think I'm tapping into that fandom, even though it's a pretty strong fandom. And the views will be crappy, but I still enjoy talking about it, so I'm still going to do it. So, but anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, those that you did watch. If you did, hit that like button down below, comment, let me know what you thought of the episode. Additionally, if you're new to this channel, make sure that subscribe button to get my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Just if you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks, and membership button down below. Greatly appreciate everybody does, and y'all take care.